Some stories sweep across lifetimes, others flash by in the blink of an eye. But today's film, Paprika, 1991, does both, folding decades into a single pulse. We begin by stepping into the shoes of a brilliant and enigmatic woman, whose exploration of dreams and reality blurs the lines between waking and sleeping worlds. Feeling the stakes that bind her fate, we are drawn into a kaleidoscope of surreal imagery and psychological intrigue that challenges the very nature of consciousness. Next, we'll peel back the layers of its mystery, uncovering the symbols and secrets hidden in every frame. Then, we'll slip behind the curtain to see how it was crafted, those bold production choices, unforgettable design moments, and on-set sparks of improvisation that brought this world to life. We'll even show you where to stream it on its official platforms, so you can join the adventure firsthand. And before we close, we'll trace the ripples it's made in cinema and in our hearts, exploring the legacy it leaves behind. If you live for stories that twist your sense of time and deepen with each revisit, hit like, subscribe, and let's journey into this altered timeline together. This film takes us on a journey unlike any other, an odyssey through the labyrinthine corridors of the mind where the conscious and unconscious collide in spectacular, often disorienting fashion. It is a movie that melds psychological thriller with science fiction, fantasy with existential mystery, wrapped in an atmospheric package that oscillates between the ethereal and the visceral. From its opening moments, we are plunged into a world that defies easy comprehension, where reality slips away like sand through fingers, and dreams spill out into the waking life with profound consequences. At its heart, the story revolves around a pioneering psychologist who has developed a revolutionary device, a bridge that allows her to enter and navigate the dreams of others. Through this invention, she embarks on a mission that is as much about healing fractured minds as it is about confronting the darker recesses of human nature. But what begins as a hopeful exploration soon spirals into a thrilling, and at times terrifying, struggle as the boundaries between dream and reality erode, and sinister forces threaten to wreak havoc on both. The narrative is a roller coaster of suspense and wonder. It interweaves multiple layers of storytelling, dream sequences bursting with vibrant surrealism, tense detective work unfolding in the real world, and introspective moments that probe the characters' innermost fears and desires. This interplay creates a texture that is rich and complex, inviting viewers to not only witness the unfolding drama but to question their own perceptions of reality and identity. Throughout the film, motifs of transformation, memory, and the fluidity of the self echo powerfully. The protagonist herself embodies this fluidity, moving effortlessly between her waking persona and her dream world alter ego, a mysterious figure who navigates the subconscious with grace and cunning. This duality fuels much of the tension and intrigue, as her journeys reveal hidden facets of the human psyche and the dangers lurking within. Key elements of the story include the use of cutting-edge technology that serves as both a tool and a trap, the vivid and sometimes hallucinatory dreamscapes that challenge logic and expectation, and a shadowy antagonist whose motives and identity are shrouded in enigma. The film's twists are deftly crafted, each revelation unfolding with a sense of inevitability while deepening the mystery. Themes of control and freedom, reality and illusion, are woven seamlessly into the plot, prompting us to ask, how much of what we see, feel, and remember is real, and what is shaped by the dreams we dare to dream? Visually, the film is a feast for the senses. Its bold production design conjures worlds that shift and shimmer, where the mundane collides with the fantastical. Scenes melt into one another, blending memories, nightmares, and waking moments into a continuous, often dizzying flow. The cinematography captures this fluidity with dynamic camera work and inventive framing, heightening the sense of disorientation and wonder. Color palettes shift dramatically, sometimes muted and cold, other times bursting with saturated hues that seem to pulse with life. This visual language communicates mood and meaning as much as the dialogue or plot. The storytelling is matched by an evocative score that alternates between haunting melodies and pulsating rhythms, underscoring the emotional landscape and amplifying suspense. Sound design plays with perception, subtle noises hint at unseen threats, echoes ripple through dreamscapes, and silence punctuates moments of revelation. This aural environment envelopes the viewer, creating a sensory experience that is immersive and unsettling. As the plot unfolds, the film challenges the audience to keep pace with its non-linear structure and shifting perspectives. Characters' motivations are complex and sometimes ambiguous, their memories unreliable, their actions open to interpretation. This complexity is not a barrier but an invitation, to engage deeply, to decode symbols, to lose oneself in the fluid dance of consciousness and subconsciousness. The climax builds toward a crescendo of tension and discovery. As the boundaries between worlds dissolve, the protagonist must confront not only external dangers but the fragmented pieces of her own identity. The resolution, while satisfying in its revelations, leaves threads tantalizingly loose, reminding us that the human mind and the nature of reality are mysteries that may never be fully unraveled. In essence, this film is a meditation on the power and fragility of the mind, a bold exploration of the spaces between dreams and waking life, and a thrilling narrative that dazzles and provokes in equal measure. It invites us to step beyond the familiar, to embrace uncertainty, and to find beauty in the strange and the unknown. For those ready to journey into the depths of imagination and consciousness, this film offers an experience that is both intellectually stimulating and emotionally resonant. It challenges conventions, expands the possibilities of cinematic storytelling, and leaves a lasting impression that beckons viewers back to explore its mysteries again and again. So whether you come for the mind-bending narrative, the stunning visuals, or the profound questions it raises about who we are beneath the surface, you are in for a cinematic adventure unlike any other. Join us as we unravel the threads of this extraordinary tale, and discover the secrets hidden in its dreamlike embrace. The story begins with an almost hypnotic quality, drawing us into a world where the boundaries between sleep and waking life dissolve, and where the human mind reveals itself as a vast, unpredictable landscape. At the center of this realm is a woman whose brilliance and compassion define her. She is a pioneering psychologist and researcher, devoted to unlocking the secrets of the subconscious through revolutionary technology. This device, a marvel of ingenuity, allows her to enter the dreams of others, navigating their inner worlds with a grace and skill that seem almost supernatural. From the very first scenes, the film immerses us in a kaleidoscope of images, vivid, surreal, and often disorienting. We see a bustling cityscape melting into fantastical dreamscapes, where gravity warps and logic bends. Buildings twist like living creatures, colors bleed and shift unpredictably, and the sky pulses with mysterious energy. This visual language invites us to experience dreams not as passive illusions but as active realms filled with meaning, danger, and revelation. Our protagonist's mission is deeply personal and professional. As she ventures into the dreams of her patients, she seeks to heal psychic wounds and confront hidden traumas. These journeys reveal the fractured nature of the human psyche, memories distorted, fears lurking, desires entwined with pain. Through her interventions, she helps to restore balance and insight, offering hope amid psychological chaos. Yet the technology is fragile, its power immense but not without risk. Parallel to these explorations, a darker narrative thread weaves its way through the story. A mysterious figure, one who wields this dream-walking technology with malevolent intent, threatens to unleash chaos. This antagonist uses the device not to heal but to manipulate and control, invading dreams to corrupt and destabilize. The stakes rise as dreams begin to spill uncontrollably into waking life, blurring distinctions and endangering minds. Key moments build this tension. Early in the story, an incident occurs that signals the collapse of boundaries. A patient's dream intrudes upon reality, causing confusion and fear. Our protagonist is drawn into the ensuing investigation, teaming with skeptical colleagues and law enforcement officials who struggle to comprehend this new frontier. Their quest to understand and contain the threat takes them deeper into the labyrinth of dreams and conspiracies. As the investigation unfolds, we meet a cast of characters whose own subconscious landscapes come alive. Allies, skeptics, and victims emerge, each contributing pieces to the puzzle. The film uses their dreams as narrative windows, sometimes whimsical, sometimes nightmarish, to explore themes of identity, trauma, and freedom. These sequences shimmer with symbolism and metaphor, inviting interpretation and reflection. The protagonist's dual existence becomes a focal point. By day, she is a respected scientist and therapist. By night, she assumes an alter ego, a mysterious, confident figure who traverses dreams with authority and mystery. This duality embodies the film's meditation on selfhood and transformation. Her presence within dreams is both a beacon and a target, making her central to the unfolding conflict. Visual storytelling intensifies as dreamscapes become battlegrounds. Sequences depict surreal chases, confrontations with shadowy figures, and flights through impossible architectures. The film's inventive use of space and perspective heightens suspense and wonder, transforming internal psychological struggle into external spectacle. These scenes challenge viewers to navigate multiple layers of meaning while maintaining emotional engagement. The narrative also explores the ethical dimensions of technology and consciousness. Questions arise about privacy, autonomy, and the consequences of penetrating the mind's sanctity. The film probes the allure and danger of wielding such power, revealing the vulnerability inherent in the human psyche. These themes add weight and urgency to the protagonist's quest. Amid escalating peril, moments of intimacy provide grounding. The protagonist's interactions with those she seeks to help and protect reveal compassion and complexity. Relationships are portrayed with subtlety, marked by trust, doubt, and the delicate balance between professional distance and human connection. These scenes offer respite and depth, enriching the emotional landscape. The film's pacing alternates between contemplative sequences and rapid, kinetic moments. This rhythm mirrors the oscillation between dream and reality, calm and chaos. The editing crafts seamless transitions that blur distinctions, enhancing immersion and thematic coherence. As the first major arc progresses, revelations deepen the mystery. The identity and motives of the antagonist remain elusive, layered with ambiguity and menace. The protagonist's own past and vulnerabilities come into sharper focus, intertwining personal and professional stakes. The narrative propels forward with mounting suspense and psychological complexity. A pivotal moment occurs when the antagonist's manipulation causes a public spectacle, a dream-induced event that disrupts societal order and forces a confrontation with the consequences of blurred realities. This crisis heightens urgency and sets the stage for the protagonist's decisive actions. Throughout, the film maintains a rich interplay between symbolism and narrative. Dreams function as mirrors, masks, and maps, revealing hidden fears, desires, and truths. Recurring motifs, such as shifting landscapes, mirrors, and fragmented memories, serve as visual anchors that guide interpretation and emotional response. By the conclusion of this portion, the protagonist stands at a crossroads. She has glimpsed the vastness and peril of the subconscious, confronted shadows both external and internal, and forged alliances tenuous yet vital. The boundaries between worlds have weakened, and the journey ahead promises deeper challenges and revelations. In essence, the unfolding story invites viewers not merely to observe but to inhabit a realm where reality is fluid, identities multiply, and the mind's mysteries unfold in dazzling complexity. It challenges us to question what we know about ourselves and the worlds we traverse within and without. This first phase lays a foundation rich with tension, wonder, and philosophical inquiry, setting the stage for a thrilling and profound continuation. The narrative's power lies in its fusion of the psychological and the fantastical, grounding surreal visuals in human emotion and intellectual rigor. As we follow the protagonist's odyssey through dreams and danger, we are drawn into an experience that is at once thrilling and meditative, intimate and expansive. The story's first half is a tapestry woven from the threads of memory, desire, fear, and hope, a journey into the heart of consciousness itself. The story plunges deeper into the labyrinth of dreams and reality, where boundaries that once seemed firm dissolve entirely, plunging the characters, and us, into an ever-shifting kaleidoscope of perception and peril. The protagonist, already entangled in a web of intrigue and psychological danger, finds herself navigating increasingly volatile dreamscapes that bleed into the waking world, forcing her to confront not only external threats but the very nature of her own identity. As the tension escalates, the antagonist's shadow looms larger, a mysterious figure who wields the dream-invading technology as a weapon of chaos. His motives, initially opaque, begin to unravel with chilling clarity. He is driven by a fractured psyche, one haunted by loss and obsession, bent on subverting the fragile order of minds and society alike. His incursions into the dream world become more aggressive, plunging victims into nightmarish realms from which they cannot easily escape. These dream invasions trigger widespread fear and destabilize the fabric of reality, with the waking world beginning to fracture under the weight of subconscious turmoil. Our protagonist's dual existence, the scientific healer by day and enigmatic dream navigator by night, becomes increasingly fraught. As she journeys deeper into the subconscious, she encounters manifestations of her own fears and desires, fragmented memories that blur the lines between self and other. These internal confrontations mirror the external chaos, underscoring the film's meditation on identity, memory, and transformation. Her dream world alter ego, once a confident guide, faces vulnerabilities and contradictions that challenge her very sense of agency. The narrative deftly weaves multiple storylines, blurring distinctions between protagonist and antagonist, victim and aggressor. Secondary characters' dreams are explored with greater depth, revealing interconnected histories and shared traumas. These dream sequences grow more surreal and symbolic, embodying complex emotional truths that enrich the story's psychological tapestry. Symbols, mirrors, shattered glass, shifting landscapes, appear repeatedly, each time layered with new meaning and significance. A pivotal event unfolds as the antagonist's plan reaches a critical juncture. He engineers a mass intrusion into the collective unconscious, a wave of nightmare that threatens to engulf the population. This assault manifests as a chaotic dreamscape where logic collapses and fears run rampant, a psychological storm that spills into the waking world with destructive force. The protagonist, along with a coalition of allies, including scientists, law enforcement, and former patients, races against time to devise a countermeasure, balancing scientific ingenuity with intuitive understanding of the mind's mysteries. The climactic sequences are a breathtaking blend of visual spectacle and emotional intensity. Dream and reality intertwine in a dizzying dance as the protagonist ventures into the heart of the antagonist's nightmare realm. Here, physical laws are suspended, cities morph and pulse, faces shift and merge, time loops and fractures. The film's inventive use of animation and effects reaches its zenith, creating a sensory experience that is both exhilarating and unsettling. The protagonist must navigate this mutable terrain, confronting shadowy figures and fragmented memories that personify her deepest fears. Throughout this journey, the stakes become intensely personal. The protagonist confronts memories of loss and guilt, moments that have shaped her psyche and choices. These encounters are not mere flashbacks but active dialogues with the past, forcing her to reconcile fragmented parts of herself. The dream world becomes a crucible for transformation, where healing and destruction coexist, and where the path to resolution demands sacrifice and insight. The antagonist's character is revealed in layers, his motivations linked to a profound rupture in his own mind and soul. His use of the dream technology as a tool of control and revenge is born from trauma and alienation, rendering him a tragic figure as much as a villain. The final confrontation between protagonist and antagonist is charged with this complexity, blending psychological tension with physical confrontation. It is a battle not only of wills but of identities, each seeking to assert dominion over the shared realm of dreams. Resolution arrives with a tone that balances closure and ambiguity. The protagonist's victory is hard-won and bittersweet, achieved through understanding and integration rather than mere force. The film refrains from neat resolutions, instead embracing the ongoing nature of healing and self-discovery. The boundaries between dream and reality remain porous but are held in delicate balance, suggesting a new harmony forged from chaos. In the aftermath, relationships among characters are transformed. Trust, once fragile and fractured, begins to mend. The narrative hints at renewed possibilities for connection and growth, acknowledging that while darkness persists, so too does resilience. The closing scenes evoke a sense of hopeful continuation, inviting viewers to ponder the mysteries that remain and the journeys yet to come. The film's final imagery lingers long after the story concludes, a montage of symbolic motifs that echo themes of reflection, renewal, and the infinite complexity of the human mind. Light breaks through shadow, water flows over broken surfaces, and faces dissolve into dreamlike patterns, all underscoring the film's enduring exploration of consciousness and identity. Throughout this latter portion, the film maintains a delicate balance between spectacle and introspection. Action sequences pulse with urgency and danger, while quieter moments invite contemplation and emotional connection. The editing masterfully interweaves these elements, guiding viewers through shifts in tone and perspective with fluid grace. Sound design and music amplify the narrative's emotional arcs. The score evolves from haunting melodies to triumphant crescendos, underscoring the protagonist's journey and the unfolding drama. Ambient sounds shift to reflect changing environments, immersing viewers fully in the film's layered realities. Ultimately, the story's second half is a profound meditation on the interplay between mind and world, self and other, dream and waking life. It challenges audiences to embrace uncertainty and complexity, to recognize the power of transformation, and to find meaning in the spaces where opposites converge. This part of the film stands as a testament to the richness of cinematic storytelling, where visual innovation, narrative depth, and emotional truth converge to create an unforgettable experience. As the curtain falls, we are left not with answers alone but with questions. Questions about the nature of reality, the boundaries of consciousness, and the paths toward healing and wholeness. The journey, though momentarily paused, feels eternal, a mirror to our own inner explorations and the endless landscapes of the human mind. In this way, the film transcends its story to become a meditation on the very act of dreaming and waking, on the delicate threads that connect us to ourselves and to each other. It invites us to step beyond certainty and surrender to the beautiful mystery of existence, a mystery that, like the film itself, invites repeated exploration and endless wonder. In the vast, shifting landscape where dreams and reality intertwine, the characters emerge as both guides and reflections, embodying the film's intricate exploration of identity, consciousness, and the fragile boundaries that define the self. Each figure is etched with complexity, their inner worlds as rich and unpredictable as the dreamscapes they traverse. To understand the film fully, we must delve deep into these personalities, examining how their desires, fears, and transformations propel the narrative and illuminate the themes woven throughout. At the heart stands the protagonist, a woman whose brilliance and empathy anchor the story's emotional core. She is a psychologist and researcher, whose pioneering work with dream technology reveals both the promise and peril of unlocking the subconscious. But beneath her professional poise lies a multifaceted individual marked by resilience and vulnerability. Her dual existence, as a scientist grounded in logic and as an alter ego who navigates the surreal dream world, embodies the film's central tension between order and chaos, reality and illusion. This duality manifests in her actions and relationships. In waking life, she is measured, analytical, yet deeply compassionate, an empathetic healer who seeks to mend fractured minds. Within the dream realm, however, she adopts a more enigmatic, confident persona, fluid, fearless, and capable of bending the dreamscape to her will. This alter ego is not merely a mask but an extension of her psyche, a symbol of her subconscious strength and creativity. Their interplay reveals the complexities of selfhood, how we navigate different roles and identities, sometimes harmonious, sometimes conflicting. Her motivations are driven by a profound desire to understand and help others, yet her journey also becomes one of self-discovery. As the narrative unfolds, she confronts memories and aspects of herself that challenge her understanding and compel transformation. This internal struggle enriches her character, moving her beyond archetypes to a fully realized human being grappling with universal questions of identity, loss, and belonging. The antagonist presents a stark contrast, a figure whose fractured mind and obsessive drive make him both terrifying and tragic. Far from a simple villain, he is portrayed with psychological depth that invites empathy even amid condemnation. His use of the dream technology to manipulate and control reflects a desperate attempt to assert agency over a life marked by trauma and alienation. This complexity adds layers to the conflict, transforming it from a battle of good versus evil into a nuanced exploration of power, pain, and redemption. His presence in the dream world is often chaotic and menacing, a force of disruption that challenges the protagonist's quest for healing and order. Yet moments of vulnerability peek through his facade, hinting at the humanity beneath the menace. This portrayal invites viewers to consider how trauma can warp identity and how the quest for control can become both a survival mechanism and a destructive obsession. Supporting characters provide a rich ensemble that expands the film's emotional and thematic scope. Colleagues and law enforcement officers represent skepticism and pragmatism, their journeys reflecting the tension between scientific rationality and the intangible mysteries of the mind. Their evolving relationships with the protagonist highlight themes of trust, collaboration, and the challenge of embracing the unknown. Patients and dreamers serve as mirrors and catalysts within the story. Their subconscious landscapes reveal a tapestry of human experience, fears, hopes, regrets, that enrich the narrative's psychological texture. These characters often embody facets of the protagonist's own struggles, creating echoes and parallels that deepen the film's exploration of identity and healing. The relationships among characters are complex and evolving. Bonds are forged and tested in the shifting terrains of dreams and reality, marked by moments of intimacy, betrayal, and reconciliation. These interactions humanize the high-concept narrative, grounding it in emotional truth and highlighting the social dimensions of identity and trauma. The film's use of visual and auditory motifs further deepens character portrayal. Dream avatars, symbolic objects, and shifting environments reflect psychological states and transformations. For the protagonist, the fluidity of her dream form contrasts with the solidity of her waking self, symbolizing the tension between conscious control and unconscious freedom. The antagonist's recurring symbols, fractured mirrors, shadowy figures, evoke his fragmented psyche and disruptive influence. Performance-wise, the lead actor brings subtlety and depth, conveying the character's duality through nuanced expressions, posture, and voice. Moments of quiet introspection contrast with dynamic dream sequences, showcasing a range that anchors the film's emotional core. The antagonist's portrayal balances menace with vulnerability, avoiding caricature and adding richness to the narrative conflict. The supporting cast contributes texture and resonance. Their varied portrayals of fear, hope, skepticism, and empathy create a mosaic of human responses to the unknown and the traumatic. The ensemble's chemistry enhances the story's relational dynamics, making the dreamscape's abstraction feel immediate and relatable. Symbolism in character arcs invites interpretation. The protagonist's journey can be seen as a metaphor for integration, the reconciliation of fractured selves and the embrace of complexity. The antagonist's descent reflects the destructive potential of unresolved trauma and the perils of wielding power without compassion. Other characters embody facets of social and psychological reality: skepticism, faith, isolation, and connection. The film's narrative structure reinforces character development, with nonlinear storytelling and dream sequences revealing layers gradually. This approach mimics the process of psychological exploration, where memories and truths emerge in fragments, challenging linear understanding. Characters are not static but fluid, shaped by experiences both conscious and unconscious. In essence, the characters are the soul of this film, their inner journeys illuminating the broader themes of consciousness, identity, and transformation. They invite viewers to engage deeply, empathize, and reflect on the mysteries within themselves. Through their struggles and revelations, the story becomes a profound meditation on what it means to be human in a world where dreams and reality are forever intertwined. The creation of this film is as mesmerizing and enigmatic as the story it tells, a complex dance of creativity, innovation, and unexpected twists that shape the final masterpiece. Behind the stunning visuals and gripping narrative lies a wealth of fascinating, sometimes strange, and little-known stories that reveal how the filmmakers pushed boundaries and embraced the unpredictable nature of bringing such a surreal vision to life. Exploring these behind-the-scenes tales opens a new window into the film's creation, uncovering layers of artistry, technical ingenuity, and human experience that mirror the very themes of dreams and reality. From the outset, the filmmakers were determined to create a world that defied conventional cinematic norms. The project was an ambitious leap into the subconscious, and this ambition demanded bold choices both technically and artistically. One of the most unusual aspects of the production was the team's decision to blend traditional animation with experimental techniques, crafting a visual language that feels fluid, unpredictable, and alive. To achieve this, animators employed hand-painted cells alongside cutting-edge digital effects, creating textures and movements that oscillate between the tangible and the fantastical. A particularly strange fact lies in the animation process itself. The artists often worked under strict secrecy, with many scenes developed independently to preserve mystery and spontaneity. The dream sequences, in particular, were animated with minimal storyboarding to allow for organic evolution. This approach resulted in imagery that shifts and mutates in unexpected ways, capturing the elusive logic of dreams. One animator recounted how a surreal creature design originated from a chance ink blot, which then blossomed into a recurring motif throughout the film. The soundscape also harbors its own curiosities. The sound design team experimented with unconventional sources to create the film's haunting and immersive audio environment. For example, recordings of natural phenomena, such as rustling leaves and water droplets, were digitally manipulated to produce eerie textures that blur the line between reality and fantasy. The voice actors recorded their lines in isolated booths, but occasionally improvised sounds and whispers were layered in post-production, adding to the dreamlike atmosphere. An amusing anecdote tells of one actor accidentally whispering a line meant to be shouted, which was kept because it unexpectedly enhanced the scene's tension. Throughout production, the director encouraged improvisation and collaboration, fostering a creative environment where ideas flowed freely, often leading to serendipitous discoveries. One famous incident involved a late-night brainstorming session where the team sketched wildly different versions of a pivotal scene. What began as playful experimentation ultimately shaped a key narrative moment that became iconic for its ambiguity and emotional impact. This openness to experimentation reflected the film's thematic embrace of uncertainty and multiplicity. Another unusual occurrence was the handling of color palettes. The team painstakingly adjusted hues to evoke emotional and psychological responses. During one intense sequence, a subtle shift from muted blues to vibrant reds was added to signal a character's emotional breakthrough. Interestingly, this change was originally unintended, a lighting test that revealed a powerful effect, leading to a last-minute reworking of the scene. This willingness to adapt and innovate on the fly contributed significantly to the film's visual dynamism. The production also faced technical challenges unique to its visionary scope. Animating fluid transformations and impossible architectures required the development of custom software tools. These tools allowed artists to manipulate shapes and perspectives in real time, creating the film's signature seamless morphing effects. This technological innovation was pioneering for its time and influenced subsequent works in animation and visual effects. On set, while much of the film was created through animation, voice recording sessions revealed unexpected moments of spontaneity. The lead actress's dual performance, balancing the protagonist's grounded persona with her dream alter ego, was enhanced by real-time feedback from the director, who encouraged nuanced shifts in tone and emotion. At one point, a misread line led to an impromptu change that deepened the character's complexity, illustrating the fluidity of the creative process. The film's score also holds interesting trivia. The composer integrated traditional orchestral elements with experimental electronic sounds, blending classical composition with avant-garde techniques. This fusion mirrors the film's thematic duality. During recording, some musicians were asked to produce unconventional sounds, bowing strings in reverse or tapping instruments in rhythmic patterns, pushing the boundaries of conventional scoring. The resulting soundtrack contributes significantly to the immersive and unsettling atmosphere. Marketing the film presented its own peculiar challenges. The abstract and cerebral nature of the story made it difficult to pitch to traditional distributors. Early screenings were met with polarized reactions, prompting the team to develop promotional materials that emphasize the film's emotional and visual journey rather than its complex narrative. Innovative campaigns included interactive dream-themed experiences that invited audiences to engage with the film's motifs before watching, creating buzz through curiosity and mystery. Interestingly, the film's cultural impact was initially underestimated. It gradually gained cult status, its intricate layers and surreal visuals inspiring artists, filmmakers, and thinkers worldwide. Retrospective interviews reveal that many of the film's most famous scenes were created under tight budget constraints, demonstrating how limitations fueled creative problem-solving. Several crew members recall how the film's themes resonated personally, influencing their perspectives on dreams, identity, and creativity. The collaborative atmosphere fostered lasting friendships and inspired new projects that carried forward the spirit of innovation. One lesser-known fact involves the film's multilingual production team, which brought together diverse artistic traditions and philosophies. This cultural cross-pollination enriched the film's symbolism and aesthetics, blending Eastern and Western ideas about dreams and consciousness. The film's legacy extends beyond cinema. It has been studied in academic circles for its psychological depth and narrative complexity, becoming a touchstone for discussions on the unconscious and storytelling. Exhibitions featuring original artwork and production materials have celebrated its artistry, drawing fans and scholars alike. In sum, the strangest and most fascinating facts about this film reveal a creation process as layered and mysterious as the story itself. From experimental animation techniques and serendipitous discoveries to technological innovations and cultural crosscurrents, the film's making was a journey into the unknown. These behind-the-scenes tales remind us that art often emerges from chaos, chance, and collaboration, just like the dreams at the heart of this unforgettable cinematic experience. The unfolding tapestry of this film is woven with events that serve as more than mere plot points. They become pivotal moments laden with symbolic weight, thematic depth, and emotional resonance. Each significant event is crafted with intention, a deliberate stitch in the complex fabric that invites viewers to look beyond surface narrative and engage with profound questions about identity, consciousness, and the fragile boundaries between reality and illusion. From a critical standpoint, these events not only drive the story forward but also function as reflective mirrors, exposing human nature's multifaceted dimensions and society's underlying anxieties. Early on, the inciting incident, a disruption of the fragile boundary between dreams and waking life, serves as a metaphorical rupture in the human psyche and social order. This event, while thrilling in its immediate consequences, gestures toward a deeper unease, the vulnerability inherent in the mind's sanctity and the unpredictability of unconscious forces once unleashed. Critics have noted that this moment destabilizes traditional notions of reality, challenging viewers to reconsider their own assumptions about perception and control. It sets the tone for a narrative that is as much about existential uncertainty as it is about external conflict. The protagonist's first direct engagement with the dream-invading antagonist introduces a layered dynamic that transcends the conventional hero-villain binary. Rather than a straightforward confrontation, their encounters are charged with psychological complexity and thematic duality. Each interaction reveals not only their conflicting objectives but also shared fractures, traumas and desires that complicate their opposition. From a critical perspective, this relationship embodies the film's exploration of the self and the other, the light and shadow within, and the tension between healing and destruction. One of the most analyzed sequences is the mass intrusion into the collective unconscious, the dreamscape collapse that threatens societal chaos. This event operates on multiple levels, narratively as a climax of escalating stakes, thematically as a crisis of identity and control, and emotionally as a collective nightmare reflecting contemporary anxieties about technology, privacy, and psychological fragmentation. Critics have lauded the film's ability to use this spectacle not as mere visual excess but as a powerful allegory for cultural disintegration and the perilous potential of unchecked technological intervention. The film's dream sequences themselves have been subject to extensive critical interpretation. Far from decorative or surreal flourishes, these scenes are narrative engines and thematic crucibles. They employ a visual and symbolic language that conveys subconscious fears, desires, and conflicts, inviting viewers into an active process of meaning-making. Elements such as shifting landscapes, morphing figures, and recurring motifs like mirrors and water serve as metaphors for self-reflection, transformation, and the fluidity of identity. Through these dreamscapes, the film engages in a dialogue with psychoanalytic theory, inviting reflections on repression, memory, and the unconscious. Character arcs are central to critical appreciation. The protagonist's evolution, from a grounded scientist to a figure navigating liminal spaces, embodies themes of integration and fragmentation. Critics highlight how her journey mirrors the film's broader concerns about the multiplicity of self and the necessity of reconciling disparate parts of identity. Her dual personas, the analytical psychologist and the dream world navigator, are not simply narrative devices but symbolic of the tensions between reason and intuition, order and chaos. Similarly, the antagonist's portrayal challenges reductive villainy. His motivations, rooted in trauma and alienation, complicate moral judgments and underscore themes of loss and obsession. Critics have pointed out that his role reflects societal fears about the loss of control and the shadowy potentials of technological advancement. This complexity enriches the film's emotional texture, transforming the conflict into a tragic dialectic rather than a mere battle. The film's resolution has been praised for its nuanced approach to closure. Rejecting tidy conclusions, it embraces ambiguity and openness, reflecting the ongoing nature of psychological and existential exploration. This choice resonates with critical perspectives that value films engaging with uncertainty and complexity rather than formulaic resolution. The final scenes, suffused with symbolic imagery and emotional subtlety, underscore themes of hope, transformation, and the continuous interplay between light and shadow. Cinematography and visual design play crucial roles in reinforcing thematic depth. The interplay of light and shadow, the fluidity of framing, and the deliberate use of color palettes all contribute to the film's emotional resonance. Critics have noted how these visual elements not only create atmosphere but also function as narrative metaphors. Light symbolizing clarity or revelation, darkness evoking mystery or repression. The shifting aesthetics mirror the instability of perception and identity central to the story. Sound and music similarly enhance thematic engagement. The score's haunting motifs and dynamic rhythms underscore emotional arcs and narrative tension, while ambient soundscapes immerse viewers in the film's liminal spaces. The interplay of silence and noise creates a rhythm that guides emotional response and highlights moments of revelation or suspense. This sonic layering complements the film's visual and narrative complexity, creating a holistic sensory experience. From a cultural and philosophical viewpoint, the film resonates with contemporary concerns about the nature of reality, the impact of technology on human consciousness, and the quest for self-understanding. Critical discourse situates the film within traditions of surrealism and psychological thriller while highlighting its innovative approach to storytelling and visual expression. It is seen as a work that challenges genre boundaries, inviting interdisciplinary analysis spanning film studies, psychology, and philosophy. The audience's reception reflects the film's layered complexity. Viewers engage not only with the story's surface thrills but with its deeper questions and symbolic richness. Discussions and analyses proliferate in forums and academic circles, testifying to the film's lasting impact and the breadth of interpretations it inspires. Fans appreciate the emotional depth and visual innovation, while critics celebrate its thematic ambition and narrative sophistication. Significant events within the film, dream invasions, confrontations, moments of self-revelation, function as focal points for these interpretations. They encapsulate the film's core tensions and invite reflection on human nature, memory, and the elusive nature of truth. Each event is crafted to challenge and expand viewer understanding, transforming the film into a multifaceted experience that rewards repeated engagement. In sum, The film's major events are not isolated incidents but interconnected expressions of its thematic heart. They contribute to its enduring power, shaping its reception as a work of profound psychological insight and cinematic innovation. Through these moments, the film invites us into a space where dreams and reality converse, where identity is fluid, and where the mysteries of the mind unfold in dazzling complexity. This critical lens enriches our appreciation, revealing the film as a landmark achievement, an exploration of consciousness that transcends entertainment to become a meditation on what it means to be human. Its impact reverberates in cinema and culture, inspiring artists and audiences to embrace the strange, the complex, and the beautiful ambiguity of our inner worlds. The making of this film was itself an odyssey into the surreal and the unknown, a journey as intricate and layered as the dreamscapes it portrays. From the earliest days of conception through the final frames, the filmmakers embarked on a path that demanded innovation, collaboration, and an openness to the unpredictable, a process that would come to mirror the film's own themes of transformation and exploration. To truly grasp the magnitude of this cinematic achievement, one must delve deep into the production insights and uncover the myriad stories that reveal the human endeavor behind the art. At the outset, the director's vision was clear yet ambitious: to create a film that transcended conventional animation and storytelling, capturing the elusive quality of dreams and the complexity of the human mind. This vision necessitated breaking new ground in animation techniques and narrative structure. The production team embraced this challenge wholeheartedly, assembling a diverse group of artists, animators, and technicians whose skills span traditional hand-drawn methods to cutting-edge digital effects. One of the defining features of the production was the fusion of traditional and experimental animation techniques. The animators blended meticulously hand-painted cells with pioneering digital compositing to create seamless transitions between dream sequences and waking reality. This hybrid approach allowed for fluid morphing effects and surreal visual motifs that would have been impossible with a single technique alone. The decision to mix methods reflected the film's thematic fusion of old and new, conscious and unconscious, order and chaos. Behind the scenes, the animation process was both intense and highly collaborative. Teams worked in specialized units focused on different aspects of the film: character design, background art, special effects, and compositing. Communication between these groups was vital to maintain coherence while allowing for creative freedom. The director encouraged experimentation, often inviting animators to improvise or reinterpret scenes to evoke unexpected emotions or visual metaphors. This openness led to moments of serendipity, where spontaneous creative leaps became defining elements of the film's aesthetic. The film's iconic dream sequences were crafted with particular care. Animators were given conceptual freedom, often provided with only thematic guidelines rather than rigid storyboards. This approach allowed the surreal imagery to evolve organically, reflecting the fluid and often illogical nature of dreams themselves. One animator recounted how a fleeting inspiration, a doodle made during a coffee break, transformed into a recurring motif that symbolized the protagonist's fractured psyche. Such anecdotes illustrate how the creative environment fostered innovation and emotional authenticity. Sound design was another arena of groundbreaking work. The production team sought to craft an auditory landscape that would complement and enhance the film's visual surrealism. Sound engineers experimented with layering natural and synthetic sounds, manipulating recordings of water, wind, and human voices to create textures that were at once familiar and uncanny. The composer blended traditional orchestral elements with electronic music, producing a score that moved effortlessly between haunting melancholy and pulsating intensity. Recording sessions were immersive affairs, with musicians encouraged to explore unconventional playing techniques to evoke the film's dreamlike atmosphere. Voice acting sessions revealed a similarly dynamic and experimental spirit. The lead actress's portrayal of the protagonist's dual personas required nuanced shifts in tone and emotion. To capture this complexity, the director often encouraged multiple takes with varying emotional emphases, allowing spontaneous variations to inform the character's development. One memorable recording session involved a moment of improvisation that changed the trajectory of a key scene, adding layers of subtlety to the protagonist's internal conflict. Production faced its share of challenges, from technical hurdles to the sheer scale of the project. Animating sequences with morphing shapes and shifting perspectives required developing new software tools, pushing the boundaries of the era's technology. These tools enabled artists to manipulate elements in real time, facilitating complex visual effects that contributed to the film's fluid narrative style. The technical team's ingenuity not only solved immediate problems but also laid groundwork for innovations in animation software. Logistical complexities arose as well. Coordinating a large, multidisciplinary team spread across studios and sometimes countries demanded meticulous planning. Communication was maintained through detailed storyboards, frequent meetings, and a shared commitment to the director's vision. Despite occasional tensions inherent in any creative endeavor, the atmosphere was marked by mutual respect and a shared sense of purpose, a collective striving to capture the intangible. Anecdotes from the set reveal a vibrant human story behind the polished final product. The director, known for his intensity and passion, fostered a demanding yet supportive environment. He was known to hold impromptu meetings at odd hours to discuss creative breakthroughs or challenges. Crew members recall moments of laughter and camaraderie amidst tight deadlines and high stakes, shared meals, informal brainstorming sessions, and celebrations of milestones that strengthened bonds. The marketing and distribution phase introduced its own set of fascinating stories. Given the film's unconventional nature, initial reactions from distributors were cautious. The production team devised innovative strategies to generate buzz, including early festival screenings and interactive exhibits that invited audiences to explore the film's themes. These efforts helped build a dedicated following, turning initial skepticism into acclaim. Over time, the film's impact extended beyond box office figures and reviews. It became a cultural touchstone, inspiring artists, academics, and filmmakers. Retrospectives and exhibitions showcased original artwork and behind-the-scenes materials, allowing fans and scholars to trace the evolution of its visionary design and storytelling. The film's legacy is marked not only by its artistic achievements but also by the stories of those who made it, their passion, creativity, and willingness to venture into uncharted territory. In sum, the production insights and fun facts surrounding this film paint a portrait of cinema as a collaborative, inventive, and often unpredictable art form. The interplay of traditional craftsmanship and technological innovation, the dedication of artists and technicians, and the director's visionary leadership all coalesce to create a work that continues to captivate and inspire. These behind-the-scenes narratives enrich our appreciation, revealing that the magic we see on screen is born from human creativity, perseverance, and a willingness to dream beyond limits. The world this film unfolds within is no mere backdrop but a dynamic and essential character in its own right, a sprawling, mutable canvas that reflects and refracts the deepest themes woven through the narrative. From the moment the story takes hold, the settings immerse us in an atmosphere that is at once familiar and profoundly otherworldly, a liminal space where reality bends and shifts like the very dreams that pulse through its veins. To fully grasp the power of this cinematic journey, we must lose ourselves in the intricate interplay of location, design, and visual storytelling that shapes the mood and tone, inviting viewers not just to observe but to inhabit a realm where consciousness itself is in flux. The film settings traverse an extraordinary range of environments, each chosen and crafted with meticulous care to echo the psychological and emotional states of the characters and the narrative's evolving tensions. Urban landscapes dominate much of the canvas, cityscapes that blur the lines between concrete reality and surreal abstraction. Streets pulse with life yet are infused with a dreamlike quality. Familiar structures twist and dissolve, neon lights flicker with uncanny intensity, and architectural forms morph as if breathing beneath the surface. This urban dreamscape is not static but alive, shifting in hue and form to mirror the fluidity of thought and memory. These city settings serve multiple narrative and symbolic functions. On one level, they root the story in a recognizable modern world, grounding its more fantastic elements in relatable experience. The bustling streets, crowded apartments, and sterile laboratories speak to a society grappling with the intersection of technology and humanity, progress and alienation. On another level, these spaces become psychological terrains, external manifestations of internal conflict and subconscious fear. The crumbling facades, shadowed alleyways, and endless corridors suggest the fragility of identity and the labyrinthine nature of the mind. Complementing the urban realm are sequences set in the dream worlds, fluid, mutable environments that defy the laws of physics and logic. These dreamscapes burst with imagination, characterized by impossible geometries, floating islands, and shifting horizons. The design here is lush and layered, a kaleidoscope of textures and colors that range from ethereal pastels to stark, jarring contrasts. These settings are not just visual spectacle but narrative devices that expose characters' hidden fears, desires, and memories, inviting viewers into a symbolic journey through the psyche. The contrast between waking and dreaming worlds is accentuated by the film's production design. Real-world settings favor tangible textures, concrete, glass, metal, that convey solidity and constraint. Dream environments, conversely, emphasize fluidity and transformation, with surfaces that ripple, melt, or multiply. This dichotomy enhances the thematic exploration of consciousness, reflecting the tension between control and chaos, structure and freedom. Lighting plays a crucial role in defining mood across these varied settings. The film employs chiaroscuro techniques, dramatic contrasts of light and shadow, to underscore emotional states and narrative stakes. Urban scenes are often bathed in cold, artificial light, casting long shadows that evoke isolation and unease. Dream sequences glow with an otherworldly luminescence, soft yet intense, shifting dynamically to reflect shifts in tone and tension. The interplay of light and shadow becomes a visual metaphor for knowledge and ignorance, revelation and concealment. Color grading further shapes the film's atmospheric depth. The palette is deliberately calibrated. Muted blues, grays, and earth tones dominate reality-based scenes, invoking a sense of melancholy and detachment. In contrast, dream sequences explode with vibrant hues, fiery reds, electric purples, shimmering golds, that signal emotional intensity and subconscious vitality. These color shifts guide the viewer's emotional journey, subtly influencing perception and enhancing thematic resonance. Cinematography is integral to the immersive quality of the film's settings. The director of photography employs a fluid camera style, shifting between steady, measured shots and dynamic, kinetic movements that follow characters through labyrinthine spaces. Tracking shots glide along city streets, creating a sense of continuity and urgency, while handheld sequences inject immediacy and tension during moments of crisis. The framing often isolates characters within vast or claustrophobic environments, visually articulating themes of alienation and entrapment. Wide-angle lenses are used strategically to emphasize scale and vulnerability, situating individuals against sprawling urban or dreamscapes. Conversely, intimate close-ups capture subtle emotional nuances, drawing viewers into the characters' inner worlds. Depth of field is manipulated to blur or sharpen focus, symbolizing the clarity or confusion of perception. This visual choreography enhances the narrative's psychological texture and emotional impact. Set design extends beyond physical structures to include symbolic props and environmental details that enrich storytelling. Objects like shattered mirrors, floating clocks, or fractured technological devices appear repeatedly, each carrying metaphorical weight. These elements weave a visual language that speaks to memory, time, and identity, central themes that pulse beneath the story's surface. The sound design complements the visual environment, creating an aural landscape that immerses viewers in the film's dual worlds. Ambient noises, distant city hum, dripping water, whispering voices, are layered with musical motifs that echo the shifting moods. Sound bridges connect dream and reality, blurring boundaries and heightening immersion. Moments of silence punctuate tension, inviting reflection and anticipation. Editing rhythm interacts with setting and cinematography to shape viewer experience. Scene transitions are crafted to reflect the fluidity of consciousness. Dissolves, fades, and match cuts create seamless movement between disparate environments. The pacing modulates between contemplative sequences and rapid action, mirroring the narrative's oscillation between introspection and external conflict. In its entirety, the film's settings and cinematic elements function as a unified whole, a living, breathing organism that shapes and reflects the story's psychological and emotional dimensions. The environments are not passive, they respond to and influence characters, amplifying themes and moods. This synergy transforms the film into an immersive exploration of perception, memory, and the mutable nature of reality. Ultimately, the interplay of setting and cinematic technique invites viewers to enter a world where nothing is fixed, where every space is charged with meaning, and where the boundaries of self and other, dream and waking life, dissolve into a shimmering continuum. It is through this rich visual and sensory tapestry that the film achieves its haunting power, capturing the elusive dance of consciousness and the mysterious depths of the human soul. The making of this film was a journey into the unknown, a process filled with moments of inspiration, challenge, and unexpected joy, a microcosm of the dreamlike worlds it sought to portray. Behind the polished animation and carefully crafted scenes lay a vibrant community of artists, technicians, and visionaries whose dedication and creativity breathed life into the project. Their stories, filled with laughter, struggle, and camaraderie, offer a rich tapestry of human endeavor that mirrors the film's own themes of connection and transformation. From the very beginning, the director fostered an environment of openness and collaboration. Known for his willingness to embrace unconventional ideas, he encouraged the cast and crew to push boundaries, experiment, and contribute their unique perspectives. This approach created a creative atmosphere where innovation flourished, and where mistakes were seen as opportunities for discovery rather than failures. The team often gathered in informal sessions to brainstorm, sketch, and share insights, moments that sparked new directions and enriched the film's visual and narrative language. One surprising story from early production involved the design of the film's signature dream creatures. What began as a formal design assignment quickly turned into a playful contest among animators. Using scraps of paper, ink, and everyday objects, artists crafted fantastical beings inspired by everything from ancient folklore to abstract shapes found in nature. The director loved the spontaneous creativity and decided to incorporate these improvised designs, which added a whimsical yet unsettling quality to the dreamscapes. This anecdote reflects the film's ethos, embracing the unpredictable and the imaginative. Interaction among the cast was marked by warmth and mutual respect, despite the often solitary nature of voice recording. The lead actress, tasked with portraying the protagonist's dual personas, developed a close rapport with the director and sound engineers. During sessions, they explored emotional nuances and experimented with vocal tones, creating a dynamic interplay that enriched the character's complexity. The actress recalls moments when ad-libbed lines or shifts in inflection opened new interpretive pathways, leading to spontaneous rewrites that enhanced authenticity. Behind the scenes, the animation team formed a tight-knit community, often working long hours under intense pressure. To relieve stress and maintain morale, they organized informal gatherings, shared meals, game nights, and impromptu performances. These social moments fostered solidarity and kept creative energy high. One memorable event was a midnight karaoke session that became legendary among crew members, a joyful release that contrasted with the film's intense subject matter. Challenges were abundant, given the film's ambitious scope and innovative techniques. Animating seamless transitions between dream and reality demanded meticulous coordination across multiple departments. Early attempts at complex morphing sequences revealed technical limitations, prompting the team to develop custom software tools that allowed real-time manipulation of shapes and perspectives. This technical breakthrough was the result of intense collaboration between animators and programmers, exemplifying the production's spirit of problem-solving. Weather also posed unexpected difficulties during location shoots for live-action reference material. Scenes meant to capture urban environments for background art were delayed by heavy rain and unpredictable lighting conditions. Instead of compromising, the art department used these challenges to their advantage, incorporating the atmospheric effects into the final design to enhance the film's moody and surreal aesthetic. The director's hands-on approach sometimes led to unconventional moments. He was known to step into the animation studio to demonstrate gestures or emotional expressions he wanted to see captured, blurring the lines between director and performer. These visits energized the team, fostering a sense of shared purpose. Anecdotes tell of the director spending hours drawing alongside animators, translating abstract ideas into concrete forms. Sound design sessions revealed their own surprises. Engineers experimented with unconventional instruments and field recordings to craft the film's haunting soundscape. On one occasion, a recording of rustling leaves and whispered voices was accidentally played backward, producing an eerie effect that was embraced and integrated into key scenes. Such happy accidents became part of the creative fabric. The film score was recorded in a studio renowned for its acoustics, where musicians were encouraged to explore avant-garde techniques. The composer worked closely with instrumentalists, experimenting with reversed recordings, unusual bowing, and percussive effects to capture the film's otherworldly tone. One session involved musicians playing with eyes closed to better connect emotionally, resulting in performances imbued with vulnerability and intensity. Marketing and promotional efforts featured innovative strategies that reflected the film's themes. Interactive exhibits invited audiences to explore dream-inspired environments, engage with symbolic artifacts, and contribute their own interpretations. Cast and crew participated in panels and Q&A sessions, sharing behind-the-scenes stories that deepened public engagement. These events fostered a dedicated fan community that celebrated the film's complexity and artistry. Reflecting on the production, many involved speak of it as a transformative experience. The process challenged their technical skills, expanded their creative horizons, and deepened their understanding of collaborative art-making. Bonds formed during the project have endured, inspiring future collaborations and artistic growth. In sum, the behind-the-scenes stories reveal a production defined by its embrace of creativity, resilience, and human connection. The joy, struggle, and innovation experienced by the cast and crew resonate through the film's vivid dreamscapes and complex characters, reminding us that every frame carries the imprint of countless passionate hands and hearts. Through these insights, we glimpse not only the art of filmmaking but the art of dreaming itself, a shared journey into the unknown that continues to captivate and inspire. The film unfolds as a mesmerizing exploration of the human psyche, weaving together an intricate tapestry of themes that delve deep into the nature of identity, consciousness, and the fragile boundaries between reality and dreams. It is a journey through the labyrinth of the mind, where every twist and turn reveals profound truths about ourselves and the world we inhabit. At its core, the story grapples with the complexities of selfhood, how we construct our realities, confront our fears, and seek meaning amid chaos. One of the most pervasive themes is the fluidity of identity. The protagonist's dual existence, split between her grounded self and her dream world alter ego, embodies this motif. This duality is not a simple dichotomy but a reflection of the multifaceted nature of human experience. The film suggests that identity is not fixed but constantly shifting, shaped by memory, perception, and subconscious influence. Through this lens, the characters become symbols of the ongoing negotiation between conscious control and unconscious freedom. The motif of dreams as a portal to the unconscious is central. Dreams here are not mere fantasy but vital realms where suppressed desires, fears, and memories surface. The film treats dreams as spaces of transformation, where the boundaries between past and present, self and other, dissolve. This theme resonates with psychoanalytic theories, portraying the unconscious as both a source of creativity and potential danger. The dream world is a mirror reflecting internal conflicts, a place where healing and destruction coexist. Control and freedom form a tension that courses through the narrative. The revolutionary technology enabling dream exploration is both a tool for liberation and a weapon of manipulation. The film probes the ethical implications of penetrating the mind's sanctity, how the desire to control or heal can lead to domination or chaos. This theme echoes broader societal concerns about technology, privacy, and the limits of scientific intervention. Memory and trauma are intricately woven into the characters' journeys. Fragmented recollections and suppressed pain shape behavior and perception, influencing actions within both waking and dreaming worlds. The narrative suggests that confronting and integrating these traumatic fragments is essential for wholeness. This theme is embodied in the protagonist's quest, where healing involves reconciling fractured parts of self and past. The interplay between reality and illusion permeates the film's thematic fabric. The blurring of waking life and dreams challenges notions of objective truth, inviting reflection on how perception shapes experience. This motif questions the reliability of memory and the stability of identity, suggesting that what we hold as real is often fluid and constructed. The film's visual and narrative style reinforces this ambiguity, immersing viewers in a shifting landscape of uncertainty. Symbolism enriches these themes, providing a visual and narrative language that deepens meaning. Mirrors recur as potent symbols of reflection and fragmentation. Shattered glass reflects broken selves and fractured realities. Water imagery, rivers, rain, and pools, signifies cleansing, transformation, and the flow of consciousness. These elements create a symbolic lexicon that guides interpretation and emotional engagement. Architectural motifs, labyrinthine corridors, endless staircases, and shifting rooms, embody themes of entrapment and exploration. They visualize the mind's complexity, spaces that can confine or liberate depending on one's journey. The mutable cityscapes and dream environments symbolize the unstable nature of perception and identity, landscapes that are as psychological as they are physical. Color symbolism is employed with nuance. Muted palettes in reality contrast with vibrant hues in dreams, signaling emotional states and thematic shifts. The contrast between cold blues and warm reds underscores tension between detachment and passion, logic and intuition. This chromatic dialogue enhances the film's mood and thematic layering. The characters themselves serve as living symbols. The protagonist's transformation reflects the journey toward integration and self-awareness. Her dream alter ego represents latent strength and the power of the unconscious. The antagonist symbolizes fragmentation and the destructive potential of unresolved trauma and desire for control. Supporting characters embody various facets of fear, hope, skepticism, and empathy, enriching the film's exploration of human complexity. The narrative structure, with its non-linear and cyclical elements, reinforces themes of memory and temporal fluidity. The interweaving of past and present, dream and reality, mirrors the mind's non-linear way of processing experience. This structure invites viewers to engage actively, piecing together fragments to form meaning, mirroring the protagonist's own journey. Philosophically, the film resonates with ideas from Eastern and Western thought, blending concepts of selfhood, impermanence, and interconnectedness. The fluid boundaries between self and other reflect Buddhist notions of non-duality, while the exploration of unconscious drives echoes Freudian and Jungian psychology. This synthesis enriches the thematic complexity, inviting diverse interpretations. Emotionally, the themes foster a profound resonance. The film captures the vulnerability and resilience inherent in confronting one's inner world. Themes of loss, healing, and transformation evoke empathy and reflection, making the narrative not only intellectually stimulating but deeply human. Ultimately, the film's themes and symbolism form an interwoven fabric that animates every scene and character, transforming the story into a meditation on the nature of consciousness and the quest for wholeness. It invites viewers into a dreamlike journey where the mind's mysteries unfold in dazzling complexity, challenging us to embrace ambiguity and find beauty in the interplay of light and shadow within ourselves. The creation of this film stands as a testament to the transformative power of cinematic craft, where every technique, from the sweep of the camera to the subtle interplay of sound, was harnessed to breathe life into a world as fluid and intricate as the dreams it depicts. The filmmakers embarked on a daring journey to push the boundaries of animation and storytelling, using innovative methods that not only captured the surreal beauty of the narrative but also enveloped viewers in an immersive sensory experience. To understand the magic of this film is to explore the delicate alchemy of filmmaking techniques that shaped its atmosphere and emotional resonance. At the heart of its visual storytelling lies a bold synthesis of traditional hand-drawn animation and emerging digital technologies. The animation team employed painstakingly detailed cell animation to craft characters and environments, layering colors and textures that lend a tactile, organic quality to the imagery. This commitment to craftsmanship ensured that even the most fantastical sequences retained a sense of tangible reality. Yet, alongside this traditional approach, the filmmakers integrated cutting-edge computer-generated imagery to achieve fluid transitions and morphing effects that mirrored the malleability of dreams. This hybrid technique allowed for seamless shifts in form and perspective, creating sequences where cityscapes fold upon themselves and characters dissolve into shifting patterns. This fusion of techniques was groundbreaking for its time and required close collaboration between animators, software developers, and visual effects artists. Custom tools were developed to enable real-time manipulation of complex shapes and layered composites, allowing for unprecedented flexibility in crafting the film's dreamscapes. These tools empowered artists to experiment and improvise, resulting in visuals that feel spontaneous and alive, echoing the unpredictable nature of the subconscious. The willingness to blend old and new methods reflects the film's thematic focus on the intersection of tradition and innovation, consciousness and technology. Lighting and color design played crucial roles in shaping the film's mood and tone. The filmmakers utilized a sophisticated palette that shifts between muted, earthy hues in reality and vibrant, saturated colors in dreams. This chromatic contrast not only delineates narrative layers but also evokes emotional states. Cool blues and grays suggest alienation or calm, while fiery reds and neon tones heighten tension or passion. Strategic use of shadows and highlights enhances depth and texture, giving scenes a painterly richness. The lighting often responds dynamically to narrative beats, brightening during moments of revelation and darkening as uncertainty and fear encroach. Cinematography, though animated, mimics the fluidity and precision of live-action camera work. The film employs a variety of shot compositions, wide establishing shots that emphasize scale and isolation, intimate close-ups that capture subtle emotional nuances, and dynamic tracking shots that follow characters through twisting environments. The camera's movement is deliberately expressive, at times smooth and graceful, at others jittery and fragmented, mirroring the shifting perspectives of the narrative. Techniques such as depth of field and selective focus guide viewer attention and underscore thematic motifs of clarity and ambiguity. Editing serves as the film's rhythmic backbone, orchestrating the flow of images and sounds to immerse viewers in its layered realities. The editing pace fluctuates fluidly, lingering on serene, introspective moments before accelerating into rapid, disorienting sequences that blur the lines between waking and dreaming. Transitions are crafted with care. Dissolves, match cuts, and wipes facilitate seamless passage between scenes and realms, enhancing the dreamlike continuity. Non-linear narrative elements are woven deftly, with flashbacks and parallel storylines interlaced to gradually reveal character motivations and thematic connections. Sound design is a cornerstone of the film's immersive atmosphere. The soundscape blends naturalistic environmental sounds with abstract, manipulated audio textures. The rustle of leaves, distant city hums, and flowing water are layered with ethereal echoes, whispering voices, and synthetic tones that evoke the uncanny. These auditory elements not only situate viewers spatially but also psychologically, enhancing tension and emotional resonance. Silence is used strategically, punctuating moments of introspection or suspense and heightening viewer anticipation. The musical score integrates orchestral and electronic elements to complement the film's shifting moods. Composers crafted themes that evolve with the narrative. Lush strings and piano passages convey melancholy and introspection, while pulsating synth rhythms drive action and urgency. The score's dynamic range supports emotional arcs, underscoring character transformations and narrative climaxes. Collaboration between the music team and sound designers ensures a cohesive auditory experience that weaves seamlessly with the visuals. Voice performances, recorded with meticulous direction, add depth to character portrayal. The lead actress's nuanced delivery captures the protagonist's internal conflicts, while supporting voices enrich the film's emotional palette. Recording sessions allowed for improvisation and experimentation, capturing spontaneous moments that enliven dialogue and deepen authenticity. From a production perspective, the film's ambitious scope necessitated innovative workflows. Coordinating large teams across disciplines required careful planning and communication. Digital pipelines streamlined animation, compositing, and editing, facilitating iterative refinement and integration of complex visual and audio elements. The production timeline balanced creative exploration with technical discipline, ensuring that artistic vision was realized within practical constraints. Box office production and marketing reflected a strategic approach that acknowledged the film's unique qualities. Initial promotion emphasized its visual innovation and psychological depth, targeting niche audiences inclined toward experimental and art-house cinema. Festival screenings and critical endorsements built momentum, while creative promotional materials, such as interactive exhibits and thematic trailers, engaged potential viewers on multiple sensory levels. Commercially, the film achieved critical acclaim and cult status, resonating with audiences who appreciated its blend of visual spectacle and intellectual rigor. Its box office performance, while modest compared to mainstream blockbusters, demonstrated the viability of innovative, genre-defying cinema. Subsequent home media releases and streaming availability expanded its reach, fostering ongoing appreciation and analysis. Retrospective evaluations highlight the film's influence on animation and narrative form. Its pioneering use of hybrid techniques inspired subsequent projects seeking to blend tradition and innovation. The collaborative ethos and willingness to embrace uncertainty exemplify best practices in creative production. The film is celebrated not only for its artistry but also for its boldness in challenging audience expectations. In essence, the filmmaking techniques employed are inseparable from the film's emotional and thematic power. The marriage of handcrafted artistry and technological innovation creates a sensory experience that captivates and provokes. Cinematography, editing, sound, and music converge to construct a world that feels simultaneously real and fantastical, inviting viewers to inhabit the fluid spaces between waking and dreaming. This intricate dance of technique and storytelling transforms the film into a meditation on perception, identity, and the mysteries of consciousness. It exemplifies how the language of cinema, visual, auditory, and temporal, can articulate the ineffable and evoke profound reflection. The film's enduring impact testifies to the power of thoughtful craftsmanship to transcend genre and medium, crafting a timeless work that continues to inspire wonder and insight. The life of a film is never confined solely to its frames or scripts. It extends and breathes through the voices of those who brought it to life, the cast whose performances become the emotional conduits for its themes, and the audience whose reception, interpretation, and passion forge its legacy. To immerse oneself fully in the essence of this film is to listen deeply to these voices, to understand how the actors shaped their characters, how the director and creative team guided them, and how viewers around the world responded with awe, debate, and heartfelt connection. The story of this film is as much about its makers and its fans as it is about the dreamscapes and realities it portrays. At the center of this constellation is the lead actress, whose portrayal anchors the film's emotional heartbeat. From the earliest casting sessions, it was clear that the role demanded a rare blend of intellectual intensity and emotional vulnerability, a performer capable of embodying a woman straddling the worlds of science and subconscious mystery. Her preparation for the role was immersive and profound. She delved into psychological research, familiarizing herself with theories of dreams, memory, and identity to inform her performance with authenticity. She worked closely with the director, who encouraged a collaborative process that invited exploration and experimentation. In interviews, the lead actress speaks candidly about the challenge and exhilaration of embodying a character with such duality. The protagonist's waking self is grounded, analytical, and compassionate, while her dream alter ego is enigmatic, confident, and imbued with a certain otherworldly grace. Balancing these facets required nuanced vocal shifts and subtle physicality, even in the voiceover booth, where tone and rhythm become the primary tools of expression. The actress recalls moments of breakthrough when spontaneous improvisation revealed unexpected depths, leading to revisions in dialogue and character arc. She describes the role as a journey not only for the character but for herself, a process of introspection and transformation. Equally compelling is the portrayal of the antagonist, a figure whose complexity transcends traditional villainy. The actor cast in this role approached the character with a deep psychological curiosity, seeking to understand the roots of his fractured motivations and inner torment. In discussions with the director and scriptwriters, he explored themes of trauma, loss, and obsession, crafting a performance that evokes both fear and sympathy. This layered approach enriches the narrative tension, making the conflict not a simple battle of good and evil but a tragic dialectic of fractured souls. Supporting cast members bring richness and texture to the story's emotional landscape. Their roles range from skeptical colleagues to vulnerable patients, each contributing unique perspectives that illuminate facets of the central themes. In interviews, these actors discuss their process of connecting with the story's psychological complexity and the challenges of performing in a film that blends reality and surrealism. Many describe the collaborative atmosphere on set as invigorating, with rehearsals and discussions that fostered deep engagement with the material. Behind the scenes, the director emerges as a guiding presence, a visionary who balances meticulous planning with openness to creative spontaneity. In conversations, he reflects on the importance of fostering trust and dialogue among cast and crew, enabling a shared exploration of the film's intricate emotional and thematic terrain. His directorial style is described by actors as both demanding and supportive, pushing them to explore vulnerabilities while providing a safe space for artistic risk. The chemistry among the cast is frequently highlighted as a key factor in the film's emotional authenticity. Despite the technical nature of animation and voiceover work, the actors' off-screen interactions fostered bonds that translated into believable relationships within the story. Anecdotes recount moments of camaraderie, shared challenges, and mutual encouragement that sustained morale during long recording sessions and intense creative phases. Audience reception adds a vital dimension to the film's life. From its initial screenings at film festivals to its wider release, viewers responded with a mixture of awe, curiosity, and intellectual engagement. Early reactions often focused on the film's visual innovation and narrative ambition, with critics praising its blend of artistry and psychological depth. Fans connected deeply with the protagonist's journey, seeing reflections of their own struggles with identity, memory, and perception. Online communities blossomed around the film, with fans sharing analyses, artwork, and personal interpretations. Forums and social media became spaces for lively debate about the film's symbolism, narrative puzzles, and philosophical questions. This participatory culture extended the film's impact, transforming it into a shared experience that transcended the screen. Critics and scholars have continued to study the film's layers, contributing essays and talks that explore its themes of consciousness, trauma, and the fluidity of reality. These engagements have deepened appreciation and brought new audiences into the fold. Retrospective interviews with cast and crew often reference the film's enduring cultural resonance, noting how its exploration of inner worlds remains timely and profound. Fan events and conventions further illustrate the dynamic relationship between creators and audiences. Cast members and filmmakers participate in panels, Q&A sessions, and workshops that offer insights into the creative process and invite dialogue. These gatherings celebrate the film's artistry and foster community, reinforcing the bond between those who make the film and those who cherish it. The ongoing conversation around the film reveals its role as a catalyst for reflection and connection. Its characters and narrative serve as mirrors, inviting viewers to explore their own dreams, fears, and hopes. This emotional and intellectual engagement underscores cinema's power not only to entertain but to illuminate the human condition. In sum, the cast's artistry and audience's passion form intertwined threads that sustain the film's vitality. Their stories and responses enrich our understanding, reminding us that every film is a living dialogue, a shared creation shaped by performance, interpretation, and the endless journey of meaning-making. Through these voices, the film's dreamlike odyssey continues to resonate, inviting new generations to step into its mysterious, captivating world. The journey we've shared through this film has been nothing short of a voyage into the heart of human consciousness, a mesmerizing expedition that transcends conventional storytelling to explore the fluid, elusive nature of dreams, identity, and reality itself. From the very first moment, the narrative has invited us to step beyond the familiar and to question the boundaries that define who we are and the worlds we inhabit. We began by stepping into the shoes of a protagonist caught between realms, navigating a labyrinth where waking life and the subconscious meld and clash, revealing hidden fears, desires, and truths. Throughout our exploration, we uncover the intricate plot that weaves together psychological thriller, science fiction, and surreal fantasy, blending layers of reality and dream with breathtaking artistry. We saw how the story unfolds in shifting landscapes, both internal and external, where characters confront not only external threats but the fractured pieces within themselves. The tension between control and chaos, memory and forgetting, identity and fragmentation pulses at the core, propelling the narrative forward with urgency and depth. Our deep dive into the characters illuminated their complexity and humanity. The protagonist's duality, the antagonist's tragic motivations, and the supporting ensemble's varied perspectives paint a rich mosaic of psychological and emotional experience. These figures are not mere archetypes but living beings whose struggles and transformations reflect universal themes of self-discovery, trauma, and redemption. We trace the film's bold production choices and the innovative blend of animation techniques that brought its surreal world to life. The marriage of traditional hand-drawn artistry with pioneering digital effects created a visual language as fluid and evocative as the dreams it depicts. Cinematography, lighting, and color design shaped mood and meaning, while soundscapes and musical scores enveloped viewers in an immersive sensory experience. Each technical element worked in harmony to evoke emotion, convey theme, and sustain narrative momentum. Behind the scenes, stories of collaboration, experimentation, and resilience reveal the human spirit driving this cinematic achievement. The cast's dedication, the crew's ingenuity, and the director's visionary leadership combined to overcome challenges and embrace serendipity, fostering an environment where creativity thrived. These anecdotes remind us that filmmaking is a collective journey, one as dynamic and unpredictable as the dreams portrayed on screen. Critical perspectives shed light on the film's profound thematic resonance and cultural impact. Its exploration of consciousness, the ethics of technology, and the mutable self invites ongoing reflection and interpretation. The film's reception, both passionate fandom and scholarly discourse, attests to its lasting influence and the richness of its layered storytelling. Our look into audience reactions underscored the film's power to connect, provoke, and inspire. Viewers around the world have engaged deeply with its mysteries, debates flourishing in communities that celebrate its artistry and thematic complexity. This dialogue between creators and audiences extends the film's life beyond the screen, making it a shared cultural experience that continues to evolve. Through all these facets, the plot, characters, technical mastery, behind-the-scenes journey, critical analysis, and audience engagement, we see a film that is not only a visual feast but a profound meditation on the human condition. It challenges us to embrace ambiguity, to explore the shadows within, and to find beauty in the interplay of light and dark, dream and reality. As we close this exploration, it's clear that this film is a work to return to again and again, each viewing offering new insights, new questions, and new emotional depths. It stands as a testament to the power of cinema to transcend entertainment and become a vessel for wonder, reflection, and transformation. If this journey has sparked your curiosity and deepened your appreciation for the art and craft of filmmaking, there is so much more to discover. Our channel is dedicated to diving beneath the surface of stories like this, unpacking their mysteries, celebrating their artistry, and connecting you to the heart of cinema. We invite you to join us on these voyages, to explore the films that challenge, inspire, and move us. So if you're ready to continue exploring the rich worlds of film, stories that bend time, twist perception, and touch the soul, please hit subscribe. Share your thoughts, your favorite moments, and your questions in the comments below. Become part of a community that loves to dive deep into the magic and meaning of movies. Thank you for sharing this cinematic journey with us. Until the next film calls us forth, keep watching with open eyes and open hearts. Keep questioning, keep feeling, and keep dreaming. The tapestry of this film's life extends far beyond its shimmering frames and intricate narrative. It is woven from the voices and spirits of the cast who breathed flesh and emotion into its characters, the interviews that reveal the intimate creative processes behind the scenes, and the diverse chorus of audience responses that have carried the story forward into the hearts and minds of viewers worldwide. To fully appreciate the film's enduring impact is to listen deeply to these interwoven stories, to understand how performance, interpretation, and connection have shaped its legacy into something alive, vibrant, and ever-evolving. At the epicenter stands the lead actress, whose portrayal of the protagonist forms the emotional and psychological core of the film. From the earliest casting discussions, it was clear that this role demanded more than technical skill. It required an artist capable of navigating the complexities of a character torn between dual existences, her grounded, rational self and the ethereal, commanding presence she embodies in the dream world. The actress immersed herself deeply in the role, undertaking extensive preparation that blended intellectual research and emotional exploration. In interviews, she reveals how she engaged with psychological literature and dream theories to inform her understanding of the character's fragmented psyche. But more than academic preparation, she speaks about the vulnerability required to embody a woman whose identity is fluid, often ambiguous, and at times deeply conflicted. This vulnerability manifests in her voice work, modulating tone, rhythm, and inflection to capture the subtle shifts between rational clarity and dreamlike fluidity. The actress recalls moments during recording sessions when spontaneous emotional shifts, sometimes tears, sometimes laughter, transformed scripted lines into raw, poignant expressions. Her collaborative relationship with the director is often highlighted in interviews. He encouraged her to experiment, to push boundaries and find unexpected facets of the character. This dynamic fostered a creative environment where dialogue was alive and evolving. The actress describes scenes where off-the-cuff interpretations led to rewrites or new narrative directions, deepening the film's emotional texture and narrative complexity. This iterative process gave the protagonist a richness that transcends traditional archetypes, making her a living, breathing enigma. The actor who portrayed the antagonist brought a contrasting but equally layered energy to the film. In discussions, he emphasizes his commitment to exploring the psychological roots of his character's motivations. Rejecting the notion of a simple villain, he delved into the traumas and obsessions that drive his actions. His performance balances menace with moments of poignant fragility, creating a figure who embodies both threat and tragedy. Interviews reveal his thoughtful engagement with the film's themes, identity, loss, control, and how these informed his nuanced portrayal. Supporting cast members, though sometimes occupying smaller roles, contributed vital emotional and narrative depth. Their interviews reflect a shared sense of responsibility and enthusiasm for the project's ambition and complexity. Many discuss the challenge of performing in a film where reality and dream intertwine, requiring them to convey psychological states through voice alone, often without the benefit of traditional physical acting cues. These actors describe intensive rehearsals and collaborative discussions that helped ground their performances in authenticity despite the film's surrealist elements. Behind the scenes, the director emerges as a visionary guide, a figure whose passion for exploring the human mind shaped every facet of production. In interviews, he speaks candidly about the film's conceptual genesis, the challenges of balancing technical innovation with emotional storytelling, and the importance of creating a collaborative space where actors, animators, and technicians could experiment freely. His reflections reveal a deep respect for the cast's contributions, acknowledging their role in transforming abstract ideas into palpable human experience. The camaraderie among cast and crew is a recurring theme in behind-the-scenes narratives. Despite the often solitary nature of voice recording and animation work, informal gatherings, creative workshops, and social moments fostered strong bonds. These relationships enriched the production, creating an atmosphere where artistic risks were encouraged and personal growth was nurtured. Stories of shared meals, late-night brainstorming, and mutual support illustrate how the film's creation was as much a human journey as an artistic one. Audience reception has been a kaleidoscope of emotional and intellectual engagement. From early festival showings to global releases, viewers responded with enthusiasm, curiosity, and profound connection. Many were drawn to the film's visual innovation, the seamless blend of traditional animation and digital effects that conjured surreal, mesmerizing dreamscapes. But beyond spectacle, audiences found resonance in the film's exploration of identity, memory, and the subconscious. Fan communities blossomed in digital and real-world spaces, where viewers shared theories, artwork, and personal interpretations. Online forums became hubs of passionate discourse, with debates over symbolic meanings, character motivations, and narrative mysteries. These conversations extended the film's life, transforming it from a passive viewing experience into an interactive cultural phenomenon. Fans often described how the film's themes mirrored their own struggles with self-understanding and transformation, creating a sense of personal intimacy. Critics and scholars contributed to this dialogue, publishing analyses that unpacked the film's layered symbolism and psychological complexity. Their work illuminated the film's place within cinematic history and its connections to philosophical and psychoanalytic traditions. These perspectives deepened appreciation and introduced the film to new audiences, highlighting its significance as a work that challenges and expands the possibilities of animation and narrative cinema. Panel discussions, conventions, and special screenings further nurture the relationship between creators and audiences. Cast and crew members participated enthusiastically, sharing insights, anecdotes, and answering questions. These events fostered a communal spirit, turning appreciation into celebration. The personal stories shared in these settings revealed the human heart behind the film's dreamlike worlds and underscored the shared journey between storytellers and viewers. The ongoing exchange between cast interviews and audience reactions forms a living tapestry, one where performance inspires interpretation, and interpretation feeds back into the understanding of performance. This dynamic relationship enriches the film's legacy, making it not only a singular artistic achievement but a continuing cultural conversation. It exemplifies how cinema, at its best, becomes a bridge connecting creator and viewer, imagination and reality, individual and collective experience.